is the Christian worldview the best worldview, and are there any other worldviews that are as good or almost as good as the Christian worldview?
Okay, yeah. So I think that, obviously, as a Christian, I believe that a Christian worldview, a biblical worldview, is best. Obviously, I believe that.
Okay.
But I do think that, sometimes you will hear about a Judeo-Christian worldview. Okay?
Right.
And so because Jews would answer all of these questions in very similar ways.
Maybe that's what we should have titled the episode.
And so when you ask what religions are the
Because
closest,
the Jews be in the news, yo.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. And so, they would answer these questions very similarly, right? Like origin. Well, same answer as I'm going to have.
Okay.
Meaning and purpose, same answer. Morality, same answer. Of course, they're going to be, they're looking at Old Testament scriptures alone, not New Testament, just Old Testament scriptures or the Jewish scriptures. Identity, kind of the same thing. Like they're God's chosen people. And that might be a little bit of a distinction.
Their identity is bigger and better than ours, according to them.
Well,
right?
No, I don't know. I think, well, the fact that they're the unique chosen people of God, if that's what you're saying. So they would say we're God's chosen people. That would be their identity, right? We're God's chosen people, have always been God's chosen people.
Correct.
From the time of Abraham.
Better than everybody else.
And I think that is a little bit of distinction, though. Obviously, I would say, too, we're part of the chosen people of God as Christians. But I would also say that's where I speak about being a son, that I have an identity as I have been adopted into the family of God as a son.
So we're different in the identity part.
In the identity, there may be nuances in the way that we speak about it. Again, from a Jew, they're going to really focus in on how they are the chosen people of God. For Christians, we may focus more on in the fact that and maybe it's just terminology, but we would say we're children of God. And what does that look like? And then finally, the destiny, again, heaven and hell, same distinctions.
They believe in straight up hell like we do?
Yes.
Okay.
And so in your reading, the Old Testament, scriptures, it's going to refer to it as Hades or those kind of things. But yeah, it's the same thing. You're either, with God or you're separated from God for all of eternity.
Okay.
And for the Jewish people, they would say the Jews are those who are with God for all of eternity. Everyone else is separated from God for all of eternity.
So people in hell, when they get to hell, some of them are like, damn, the Jews were right. And then some of them are going to be like, the Christians were right.
Yeah, well.
Right. Like they're not going to know.
Yeah. I see.
They're not going to know which one was right.
Right. Well, they're not going to, or depending on time frame of when they lived. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, it could get confusing for them down there. I don't know. But that's so obviously, like when we talk about, for even example, the founding of our own country in America.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
All right. There is a Judeo-Christian worldview that was at play when our country was founded. Okay?
And our Constitution was written.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean, now to be clear, it doesn't mean that they were all Christians, okay? It doesn't mean they were all following the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It doesn't, some of them were deists. Like, I get all that. But the way that they viewed the world.
All of them were slave owners, though.
There were a lot of slave owners. But the way they viewed the world was largely through a Judeo-Christian worldview.
Okay.
Not exclusively by any means. But when they were putting in steps for morality, they were deriving it from a Judeo-Christian morality, for example.